You probably didn't notice we had a little bit of hiccup, but we're gonna get back up in here running. But July, we're here. And what I want to do is run you through what's happening in the local market, the Lehigh Valley that DLP Realty is locally located, but right here in Pennsylvania. And then what I'm going to do is put a little bit of national perspective on everything and tell you what's going on in the marketplace. Obviously, the whole national perspective, I mean, you guys could be looking from all over the country with this, but it will pertain to your local market as well, as many things are happening locally on the national scale. So also, I want to talk about the mortgage moratoriums ending at the end of July right now in about 10 days, actually. And what that impact will have on the housing market as we move forward. So let's get into it and talk about the local market in the Lehigh Valley. So as you can see here, list prices receiving as far as like asking price, all-time high, 102.7%. This is an incredible amount, meaning that average home sale is getting above asking price of what they have the home listed for. And speaking of list prices and sales prices, the Lehigh Valley has hit an all-time high. Average sales price for the month of June in the Lehigh Valley was a staggering $313,000. Just an incredible number. It's over a 19% increase from this time last year that your home has appreciated, which is just crazy. I mean, we had appreciation last year, but over 19%, over $300,000 for an average price. Just an incredible number for the month of June in the Lehigh Valley. Number of homes of inventory is an interesting one. It's at 756 on average right now for the month of June. I've seen this number actually hit 800 at certain days of the month. And you can see here on our chart, or on Lehigh Valley's chart, that it's starting to increase. We saw in the beginning of the year that these numbers are as low as 500, 600, and then 700. You're starting to see this thing creep up as far as the number of homes that are available in this market. Now, I'm going to get other charts to show you what that has to do with impact of buyers. And then new listings are up. In the month of June, new listings are up. We see this consistently happening. And from a national standpoint, you see that depending on what state you're in, a lot of places are increasing. I can count on my hand the amount of home states that are not increasing in home inventory. So it's interesting to see in this market right now that homes have been going on the market. They've been going on a market at a much higher pace than they were back in January, February, March, April, May. And it's interesting to me because we're now in the middle of July, and June compared to May, there's actually been more homes that went on the market in the month of June than in the month of May. And that's an interesting stat because that's usually not what happens. Usually it's the early spring that has the most amount of homes that hits the market. And then during the summertime, it starts to level out. And then you have some that come on the fall. So it's been interesting to me to see that consumer confidence with putting their home on the market has actually gone up over this course. So we're probably going to start to see homes continuing to go onto the market at a rapid pace in the summer months, which is going to put a little bit of relief for home buyers right now. And you can see here that national economists have been talking about this. We're seeing another significant week over week gain in inventory. Great news for buyers, going to allow them to really have a little bit more choices in the marketplace right now. And supply is expected to improve again. You can see all the different quotes here from all the different economists to show that they're all seeing this. We're all seeing the same thing that's going on out there. Now, even though I'm saying that inventory increasing, that in no way means that we're seeing a shift, like a complete shift in the market. It's a buyer's market, and things are going to sway completely to the buyer. That's just not the case. It is definitely still a heavy seller's market. You can see it right in this chart today, that we are nowhere near buyer's market. It's still an incredible time to sell the home. It's also an incredible time to buy a home just because interest rates are still low for mortgages. And even though there's been house appreciations and house pricing increases, it's still more more affordable than it was back in some of these days, some of these times to buy a home right now. So as you can see here, still a seller's market as we see. Now, I want to get in this showing time graphic, and I haven't shown this one in actually a couple of months. And just remember these little spikes here. So what this showing time shows us is the line in orange shows us the average weekly showing rate of houses. Remember these little spikes that go down? Typically what that is those are holidays. So obviously we just came off of July 4th weekend, where activity usually goes down pretty significantly during those holidays. Now, interesting thing here is that we're actually below the buyer market for it's been a while, and most of the time we've been above the weekly average of 2020 with home showings, and we're starting to see a slight decline here of weekly average showings compared to 2020, 2019, and it's going down. And a lot of this has to do with buyer fatigue. And one thing that we're starting to notice is that rates are starting to creep back up. We're going to start to see mortgage interest rates going up. And right now, these are the realities of buyer fatigue. There's been record price appreciation. I mean, you saw it in the Lehigh Valley slide that I showed you, 19% increase from this time last year, plus an average sales price of over $300,000. Extremely low inventory. Even though the inventory is starting to creep back up a little bit, we're still at extremely low inventory. We're getting record high sales percentage of sales over list price, 102% in the Lehigh Valley itself. Record low days on the market. Still, average home sale is under 18 days in the Lehigh Valley. And they're just historically low mortgage rates. Even though I just showed you that, yeah, they're starting to creep back up, we're not even near 6 or 7% that you saw back in 2006, 2007. These things are still in the low threes. So it's still an incredible time to buy. But these are the realities of just buyer fatigue, is that they are running into all of these items. So some good talking points that you want to have with your buyers. I'm just going to have these with you guys that are out there, that you can expect to turn in the market in the coming months. You're already seeing it. You're already seeing inventory start to creep back on. More inventory means more options, means less of a bidding war. Doesn't mean that you're going to go against houses that might have 20, 30 offers, but you might not have as much competition there. The market is still hyper competitive. I mean, I just mentioned that you're still going to run into multiple offers, just maybe not as many. And just keep in mind, the summer months are the time when serious buyers do commit to homes 100% of the times. A lot of times home buyers are looking to get in before that school year starts. So summertime is that time that people are getting 100% serious about buying their home. And so you're going to run into these items. So you don't want to get left behind. I mean, people are listing their homes. They're looking to buy their next home. And you don't want to get left behind of, hey, maybe that inventory is going to go down in that fall, winter time. And you might struggle again to find your next home. So take advantage of it now. Take advantage of it in these summer months of July, August, before September hits and schools go crazy. Just don't get left behind in this market. Now, another thing that you're going to be seeing in the news a lot, because it's about 10 days away, the moratorium on foreclosures is ending on July 31st. So what this means is you or someone you know may be in trouble right now. And I just want to go over that there's solutions for you, because this is one of the things that really hits home to me, is headlines do more to terrify than to clarify. When you're getting your news from all the different news channels, I won't even name them all, but their job is to sell viewership, to get eyeballs to their TV. So they're going to terrify you. They're not going to clarify a lot of the messages that are out there. And I just want to show you some facts and figures that are going to help you understand that, hey, if you truly are behind on your mortgage and you are struggling possibly to pay the bills out there, I mean, it's a reality that we're all facing, that there are options out there for you in your home sale that you might not have known that you knew. I mean, the good news is right now mortgage forbearances are decreasing right now. You can see here it's been a steadily decrease really since this time last year. So a lot of people are coming out of their forbearances, and just the numbers are decreasing right now for that. And this is very interesting news from Black Knight Data, who's one of the largest data collectors in all of real estate, is the share of mortgages in forbearance with less than 10% equity. And the reason I bring this up is because equity, which you're going to see on the next slide, equity is going through the roof right now for a lot of people. And what we've noticed and what Black Knight is proposing here is that really only 4% of the homes that are in forbearance have less than 10% equity, meaning that these people could truly be in trouble, that they're going to have a little bit tougher time selling their home because they're not going to make much money on the sale of their home. And where are they going to go? They're not going to have a cash reserve left over to possibly pay all the rent up front to go get into another home. They might have some issues there. And then when you include the with 18-month deferred interest, it goes to 19%. And then crazy thing is with 18 months deferred principal and interest and taxes and insurance included, it goes up to 13%. So these numbers are not that big. So what it tells me that there is huge amounts of equity in your home. And this is what I want to get across to people is that you saw in that first slide where Lehigh Valley home prices went up about 19% from this time last year. The equity in the homes right now is staggering. And you can see this here nationally, it's gone up about 19.6% for a lot of people across the country. So not only is our local market stats in Lehigh Valley really reflective right around that 19%, a little bit lower than 19.6, but anyway, it's right around that 19%. They're very similar. That these numbers across the country, a lot of people are sitting on a lot of equity that they just don't know. So what we want to tell our sellers is just don't be too unrealistic. Pricing is up, yet things are starting to sit on the market a little bit longer. You cannot ask for the moon when you're talking about pricing, but you can definitely increase the price here. You don't want to miss out really on this extremely attractive market. Why? Interest rates are very low for mortgages. Buyers are at an all-time high. They're hungry for inventory. And the summer months right now is the time when buyers 100% commit to you, the seller, because they want to get in before that school year. A lot of people do. It's never been a better time to sell. And really, price appreciation will start to moderate as rates, as you saw, increase and inventory rise later this year. And what's going to end up happening is your price appreciation that you saw 19% this time last year is going to start to level out. So let's talk about some of these price forecasts. As you can see here, rest of 2021, you saw those crazy numbers of 19%. We're going to start to see these things level out. These are still great numbers. When you're talking about almost a 9% average increase in your home equity over the next year, that's still a staggering great number. But it's going to seem like it's not as high because of the explosive growth that we went through. I tell my team this all the time. It's like you're going down the highway at 200 miles an hour. You drop that thing down to the speed limit of 60, 65. And guess what? It feels like you slow down a significant amount, yet you're still going forward. You're still going at a very good pace. And but it seems like like the sky is falling out. It hasn't. Like I said, we're still in a seller's market, heavy seller's market, and there's still price appreciations looking here. Also, over the course of really the next 5 years, this year we're going to see the pretty good appreciation of close to 9%. We're going to start to see that level out. And who knows what inflation will do, what these interest rates will do, all of that. But you're still going to see appreciation in this market according to a lot of the surveys that are out there from the local economists. And really, this is from our Q2 numbers that they're pulling. So what this tells me is that when you are looking to buy a home and or sell a home, you are going to be sitting on a good amount of equity. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to wait till the prices drop, I'm going to wait from a home buyer standpoint, I'm going to wait till the prices drop, I'm just going to wait for everything here, just keep in mind, price appreciation is going to still happen. So now is the time that you want to take advantage of this market. Get in the low interest rates of the mortgage before they start to creep back up. And as you can see here, you could be missing out on close to $93,000 in equity based on all the predictions that are going out there right now. That's a staggering amount of money over the next 5 years for you to be sitting on really free because of the appreciation that we're going to be seeing in this market. So what we do is we help you buy and sell homes here at DLP Realty. We've been ranked #1 in the state of Pennsylvania and New Jersey for most amount of homes sold. We just got this award actually in June, really end of June, and super excited for the team. We've been helping people buy and sell a home, over 10,000 homes sold in the past 10 years. And it's been a pleasure just always providing you guys this content for what it is. But just don't wait to sell your house. Now is a great time. You have your buyers interested. They have the buyers ready to go. And they're just ready. So what you can always do is go to dlprealty.com. You can actually get access to these market updates. You go on there. Also, we have a really cool tool in here. If you ever just want to know, hey, what's kind of the estimate of my home value? What does that market look like in my specific market? Just go to dlprealty.com. Go find our sell section. You'll be able to plug in your address. You'll get an estimate of your home value. But what that estimate does is it really just shows you what's going on in the market. That number, don't put all your eggs in one basket with that number, meaning that number, we can send out a home expert to you. They can evaluate it for you, and then they can really give you a down to the penny what your home for would go for on this open market. And to go back to like the forbearances and all that, go to this website, because what you're going to want to do is you're also going to want to know, hey, you might be struggling to pay your mortgage right now, and it could be embarrassment, and I don't want that to feel that way in any way. Everything that you do with us is always kept in confidentiality, but you could be sitting on a lot of equity that you just don't know. You might be struggling to pay your payments out there, but you could easily be sitting on 100,000 plus in equity, and you didn't even know it, because you just don't know how much this market has increased for you. So go to dlprealty.com. Let us help you. Let us bring you the real information that you need to hear so you can make the proper decisions for you and your family. And looking forward to helping you and bringing you a market update next month. Thanks, guys.